All right, today we're going to start off with our gridded portrait project. So you're supposed to get a photo where the face is about the size of an open hand. It needs to be at least larger than an adult fist. The larger the face is, the easier it is going to be to transfer using the grid method, which was definitely used during the Renaissance time by artists like Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo. So we're going to learn from them, learn from the masters to do a portrait that looks very realistic with this ancient technique. So first you have your photo. Then if you have our workbooks, on page 54, you'll have a grid page that you can take out of your workbook. And then we're going to get a piece of plastic, simple overhead plastic, which can be laid on top of our grid. Then we're going to be using a little bit of masking tape on the edge. You can just go ahead and tape and then fold it over to the back. It's good to make it like a hinge, so only tape on one side so that later on you can lift it up and make sure you've got everything. Okay. Then you're going to need a ruler and a Sharpie marker. I go for the ultra thin Sharpie, that seems to work really well. And all you got to do is trace. You don't have to measure or anything. We've made it really simple for you. So I lay the ruler on the line, see through it. I look both ways to make sure the line is exact. And I go ahead and make a line with my Sharpie marker. Now Sharpie does smear if you don't wait a little bit. Okay? So it's important to wait 3 seconds, just count to 3. Then you can go ahead and move your ruler and go in the other direction. Again. And we're going to do this in both directions to make a grid. Now, once in a while, you may get a slip. So if I have something like this, I'm going to make a mistake on purpose. I'm going to go across doing fine, and then I'm going to zip across, and then I think, oh my gosh, it's Sharpie, it's permanent, it's going to be ruined forever. And actually, all you need is a tissue, a little rubbing alcohol on it, or some hand cleaner. And that'll take the Sharpie back off. Here's the dry part of the tissue. And you don't need very much, just a couple little drops to do it. And then you can go ahead and continue making your grid. If there is any wet alcohol on there, wait a moment. It's okay if it goes a little outside of the grid. That's going to not matter for the project as we do it. I'm going to fast forward a little bit for you. Alright, I've completed my grid, and it's important not to just take it off right away. You need to lift it up a little bit and see if you missed anything, and I think you can spot that on the camera, that we missed a little line there. Sometimes that happens. The Sharpie might dry out for a moment, and then you can go ahead and finish that line in there. Now we can take the plastic, lift it up, and we can put our image underneath. We've got a grid on top of our image. You're also going to use another piece of masking tape to secure the image so it doesn't possibly pop out. This time we don't want it to move, so it's okay to give it a little bit of extra tape. Again, I'd make a hinge though, because at some point you may want to peek underneath it, but a little bit of tape will help make sure the image doesn't slide, because if it slides, it's almost impossible to get it back into the same exact spot.